Welcome to Quiero Dinero podcast. Juan Pablo Delgado takes you with business owners interviews, professionals, and people who are in the hustle. Quiero Dinero es un espacio para cotorrear sobre negocios, emprendimiento, la vida misma y el dinero.
I'm Juan Pablo Delgado. I hope that you and your family are safe and sound. It's mid-July and most of California is closing down again. Remember to wear a mask and keep social distancing. My guest is a Cuban immigrant, woman entrepreneur with several awards, including the Latina Entrepreneur Award from Latinas In Business, with reputation as a multicultural marketing growth hacker. Danay Escanaverino is CEO of LunaSol Media. She's founder of LatinaMeetup Mira.Click. Danay has worked with brands like Hallmark, Quickbooks, T-Mobile, Best Buy, eBay, and Ford. Keep listening if you want to know more about the golden nuggets for a 20-year veteran of digital marketing and part of her journey to achieve the American dream, and of course, some advice about dinero. I'm Juan Pablo Delgado, MBA, CEO of Raise the Bar Latinx and Financial Pro, and you're listening Quiero Dinero podcast. Danay, thank you for having this conversation with me and being in the podcast Quiero Dinero.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Absolutely. And in a few minutes, please tell our community about yourself, about what do you do and how did you start?
I am a Latina entrepreneur and CEO of LunaSol Media, which is a boutique digital agency that connects clients to the Hispanic Latino market online. I have been in the digital marketing industry over 20 years, so I'm pretty much a dinosaur. I've been part of various startups and acquisitions, and eventually I got to the point where I just wanted to have my own company, and that was probably about 15 years ago. And so how we deliver leads and sales to our clients is through various channels. 4 of our top channels are affiliate marketing, email marketing, SMS marketing, and social media marketing. And so that's what I do for my business. And then if that wasn't enough, in 2018, I launched a community called Latina Meetup, and it's a community for Latina professionals. The mission is to celebrate, elevate, and connect Latina professionals, where we empower them to increase their wealth and influence. Before the COVID pandemic put a halt to all of our events, we used to have events in various cities, New York City, Washington, D.C., Miami, Chicago. And so at these events, we'd have several hundred Latina professionals, and, we basically featured Latina change makers, women that are doing great things in the community representing Latinas. We would feature Latina brands and products. And so, I'm really proud of the fact that we were able to introduce so many Latina brands to millions of new consumers between the events and our online platforms. So that's kind of my passion project.
And what's your mindset right now? Because we have been through all this pandemic crisis and then the new normal. So what's your taking right now? What's your mindset?
For the events, what we did is we pivoted and we decided to go virtual with the events. So instead of having we would have an event every 2 or 3 months in a different city, what we do now is we have a happy hour every Wednesday night at 6:30. And we get everybody together and we play networking games and, we connect with everybody and we have prizes. And we've had some amazing connections that have happened just in, our networking. We still introduce Latina brands and Latina products to other Latina professionals. So it's still doing what the initial goal was. It's just, it's all online right now until we can all get together again in person.
Love it. Cool. And what accomplishments are you most proud of and why?
The thing that I'm most proud of is helping Hispanic, Latino, Latina brands reach audiences, reach new audiences online. It's been a passion for me forever. I mean, ever since, probably the early 2000s when nobody really was talking about it. There really wasn't an initiative. And I have been just, through all these years, working with brands, helping them go online, helping them find the audiences, because, while I do believe representation matters, I firmly believe that we as a community will do a much better job representing ourselves than asking others to do it for us or asking others to enable us. And so for me, it's just a big passion to be able to, continue to help Latino brands reach new audiences.
Thank you for sharing that. And Danay, tell us about your business and how and why did you pick your industry?
Oh, sure. So when I was looking at a career, and I was in college, I actually went to school for journalism. And my older brother introduced me to computing, and he introduced me to the internet, which was, it was pretty non-existent back then, but it was enough to totally pique my interest. And I absolutely fell in love. I fell in love with everything about online. And there was there were no classes or anything that I could take that would teach me, skills like search engine marketing, and they were in the infancy at that point. I mean, we're talking, 1995, 1994, 1996. So I taught myself HTML 1.0, which was the HTML language at the time. It was basically just links and text. And I remember creating my first website that you could watch on the Mosaic browser, which was the only browser back then. And I just absolutely fell in love with the creativity of it, with the technical aspects of it, with everything. And as time went on, I just taught myself everything. And, I taught myself search engine marketing, email marketing. And as things progressed, social media marketing came into play, and I just stayed on top of everything. And so I was able to create a skill set that was very, very high in demand at that point in time. And I was able to work with some really cool startups and learn a lot about business and about marketing. And so, it was just one of those things where I couldn't go to school for it because it wasn't what was being taught. Nobody knew how to teach it yet. And, it turned into a really cool career.
And what leaders, mentors, or entrepreneurs do you respect or look up, and why?
So I know it sounds like a cliche, but I love Oprah. And the reason I love Oprah is because she came from absolutely nothing and built this humongous empire, and she's not your typical example of an entrepreneur who is, such a leader. She came from a very poor background. She's an African-American woman. And so, she had a lot of blocks in her path, and she just annihilated all of those blocks and has succeeded tremendously. And I love the fact that she's very much into giving back, and she's very much into learning and teaching and, perpetuating the lessons that she learns. So, everything about her I absolutely love.
Wow, awesome. And about lessons, can you please share with our community your biggest insight about business or your most valuable financial lessons?
Yes. So as far as business is concerned, I have a lot to say about it. As far as business is concerned, I'm a real big fan of failure. And what I mean by that is, no, I don't like to fail, but we all fail. I mean, there's no successful entrepreneur, there's no successful business person who hasn't failed a ton of times before. And the only reason that they've succeeded is because they took those failures, they picked the lessons out of it, they got back up, they dusted themselves off, and they went ahead and tried again and tried again. And they changed, they pivoted, they learned, they applied the lessons. But the whole point of it was that they got back up. And so for me, you know, I've had many failures too. I went into a partnership with somebody and, you know, was completely swindled once, and got everything taken away from me because I didn't even know how to sign a contract correctly when I was really, really young. You know, I've had a lot of different business failures, and every time I failed, I knew that I had to, you know, dust myself off, you know, swallow the failure, think about the lessons, and move forward. And I really, truly believe that that's, you know, that's what's helped me succeed in the things that I have succeeded in.
Wow. I agree 100%. And thank you for sharing that. And what's the next level of growth you're excited about? Both personal and professional or financial?
So as far as professional growth, we launched an affiliate network, which is a platform that connects advertisers and brands with creators who are Latinos, so YouTubers, bloggers, podcasters, you know, people who own websites, people who have email newsletters, anybody who basically has traffic. We have a platform where they can go in, they can find campaigns to promote, and then they can earn a commission and they can earn extra revenue off of that. So for people who are creators, you know, they're really, really good at creating traffic or at finding an audience, but they're not that great at monetizing that audience that they create, that they work so hard to work on. And so our platform helps them connect with the brands that they can promote. And so for me right now, that's a huge focus going into the next year, because what I really want to do is not just stick to the big brands that we like to work with, but again, since my passion is introducing, you know, Latino businesses to as many opportunities as possible with business, what my focus is bringing on more small to medium-sized businesses onto the platform so that they can have access to all of those creators.
Right. Awesome. And, well, here in Quiero Dinero podcast, we also want to share some specific idea about, you know, recognizing potential money mistakes. So I'm going to say an affirmation about managing finance so you can share your idea about it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not understanding the difference between want and need. If you have children, you have probably explained wants and needs. And when it comes to our own spending, we should hear sometimes our own advice. So what's your taking?
You know, I absolutely agree with that. And it really, really applies very, very well to being an entrepreneur, because, you know, sometimes you really want to have a nice car and you see everybody driving a Lexus or, you know, everybody driving a nice Audi, and you want to have that car, and, you know, maybe not having that car will allow you to have some of the funds to invest in your business, which will then bring you better returns, and then you'll be able to get whatever car you want when it's time for you to get it. But I find that a lot of times, you know, people think that being an entrepreneur is sexy and you have all this money that you can spend right away. And, you know, it's shown all over social media, everybody with their nice watches and the nice cars. But really, the reality of it is sometimes you have to go without the nice things to be able to invest your time and your money into the business. So I do tremendously agree with that.
I agree 100% with that. What legacy would you want to leave behind?
You know, I just want mostly my kids to be proud of me. I want them to know that, you know, their mommy
I'm sure they are.
that their mommy did good things, that she tried to help her community. And, you know, my legacy, I hope, is that I tried to help the Latino community prosper.
Danay, what's the best way for the community to get in touch with you or your company?
You can email me at Danay@LunaSol Media.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Danay.E. And I respond to messages, I respond to emails, and yeah, I would love to, you know, find out if there's anybody that I can help with their digital marketing. And if there's something that I can't help you with, I always make sure that I introduce you to somebody who I think might be a great connection.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you. And before we wrap this up, a final message that you would like to share with our community, with our audience?
Absolutely. You know, yes, I'm a big fan of giving before you ask. I find that, you know, the more you give, chances are you're going to start receiving without even asking. So, you know, in a world where everybody's always asking and selling and taking, just be a giver. See if you can connect people together with other people that you might think might work well together, or, you know, just help somebody out that needs help without charging them. And you'd be amazed at the things that can happen.
Exactly. Amazing. Danay, we are wishing you all the best. Be safe and keep raising the bar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care. Bye.
So,
for all out there, keep raising the bar as well. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and thank you for listening, and please don't forget to share. Thank you for my support, RTV Financial Group in Beverly Hills, Callcast, and Power Podcasting.